drives inside. Back out to Wiggins. Wiggins a three-pointer. Puts it in. A 15-point lead with 1:43 to play. The Warriors are ready to celebrate. And that'll do it. It's over. The Golden State Warriors return to a familiar place. They're on top of the NBA world. The fourth title in 8 years. The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
The dynasty lives. This is Interesting to See, your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. I'm your host, Nick, etc., etc. Like, rate, review, subscribe. You can see my pretty mug on Spotify and on YouTube. The hiatus is coming in a couple of days, maybe one more week of this show. Stanley Cup Finals Game 2 is tomorrow, which is Saturday. And I think next Friday might be the last episode of the show for a while. I think that the Avalanche are going to win in 4 or 5. That's just my gut. I think they're better. It is what it is. Last night was all about the Golden State Warriors, who win their 4th title in 8 years. If you heard Mike Breen right there. And they're pretty remarkable situations. So I think, did I predict them? I think I might have predicted them. I might have. I don't know. So if you go through the games, this is what's interesting to me. Their defense has been underrated throughout this entire dynasty of theirs. I'm just looking through the games right now. So against the Celtics, they lost twice. They lost Game 1, and then they lost Game 3. In Game 1, they gave up 120 points. In Game 3, they gave up 116. In no other game did they give up 100 points in the finals. In all the games they won, they held their opponent to under 100, and they scored over 100. I'm looking through this in every single game in the series. That's consistency. The Mavericks scored quite a bit more on them because Luka is significantly better than any of the offensive players in the Celtics. Their defense was immaculate. Closing out on the road is what badasses do. Unbelievable work, man. I mean, I am to the point now where to win one NBA championship, I'm taking Giannis over everybody. That was last year. What he did was fucking weird. It was crazy. But Steph is in the Jordan conversation, man. I mean, he just is. It's we continue to live in this era of greatness. I saw this tweet. We'll try to pull this up for you, which is just flabbergasting. Look at this. Steph Curry in his last 2 games in Boston. So remember he had the weird Game 5 that the Warriors won in San Francisco, where he didn't make a 3 for the first time in 200 and something games, like 230 something games he had made a 3 in the playoffs, and he missed one. In the last 2 games in Boston, 77 points. He shot 26 for 47, that's 55%, and he shot 13 for 25 from 3, 52%. He was Finals MVP. He should have won Finals MVP a couple other times. Andre Iguodala was put on the court at the end of the game despite being hurt and being very old. He played for the Sixers, couple titles, 4 titles with the Warriors, and I believe, was he with the Nuggets at a certain point? I think he was with the Nugs. I don't remember for sure. That was like late Carmelo Nugs, I think. I don't quite remember. Regardless, Andrew Wiggins is going to be a big talking point. Like maybe they could trade him and get assets and keep this thing rolling. Maybe they want to keep him and make him the future. Remember, he was the first overall pick, I want to say, back 2015. Yeah, same draft as Joel Embiid. And he goes to wherever he went, the T-Wolves. And, man, shouts to the Warriors. They are elite dynasty. Them and the Spurs. The Lakers won, I think, Kobe got 5 in like 10 years or so. The Celtics were the best of a bad bunch in the way. The only teams that I thought were good, including injuries, like the Sixers seemed to have some good stuff. The Heat, they dummied them. The Suns shit themselves. But you look at the Mavericks, like they weren't good. The Grizzlies maybe next year. The Celtics weren't that good. I mean, they had like 20-something turnover. It seems like they had about 15 to 20 turnovers in every game. Unbelievable. It was fun. It was funner. It was more fun than I thought it would be. The games at least were good, but the Warriors just shit stomped the Celtics. They did cut it to like 9 at one point, but it never felt like they were going to come back. And the crowd was just the game started out intense, 12-2 run for Boston, and then it was never close after that. It was just wild. Let's move to some hockey news. John Tortorella has been hired as the Philadelphia Flyers head coach. And if you don't know Tortorella, he is something else. This is sort of like, what would be, I guess he would be like the John Gruden before we found out that Gruden was a misogynistic, racist asshole. I guess we kind of all knew it deep down, but nobody had known for sure, except for the people who did know and then kind of ratted on him, or wait, they didn't. Regardless, John Tortorella is something else. And the fact that he's going to Philly, the fact that Philly hires the king of hockey content, it's going to be good for the organization. That's not a hockey town, but they're about to be, I don't know about a hockey town, but they're about to be really mad at him all the time, which is going to be awesome. Here's a former player, Brandon Dubisky, who is an assistant captain for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Torts has coached, I forget everywhere, but I believe he might have won a cup with Tampa in 2004. He then coached with the Rangers and got them to the Cup Finals. He then coached for Columbus, where he made them sort of relevant after years of just complete complacency. But his former assistant captain says, pray for the NFL Flyers. Players, pray for them. Tortorella made headlines this year when he got mad at players for doing super skilled stuff and hot dogging, as it's called. But those hot dogging things led to goals, which is the point of the game, is to score more goals than your opponent. He's like, what is this doing to the game? It's like, well, who gives a shit? It's going to be great. Philly's going to fucking hate him. It's going to be awesome. But they're going to get better for like a couple minutes, and then they'll get worse, and it'll go down in flames. It's the same shit. He's been the coach for like 4 places. I can't believe he's still getting opportunities, to be honest. College World Series begins today. We don't have a lot to talk about today. Is there anything else you want to do? No. I don't think so. No. Okay, so let's go to the College World Series. It starts today. The first game on the docket. The Oklahoma Sooners versus the Texas A&M Aggies, the classic SEC matchup. A&M, Oklahoma's favored by 1.5. The over-under, the run line, the over-under is 10.5 runs. I don't know. I think that seems low. I think that people get nervous. But interestingly, there are not very many home runs at Omaha. There used to not be because of how far the wall is, but also because it's just like people get nervous. Then the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they play at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against the Texas Longhorns on a Friday night. Tomorrow, a bunch of games happen, but there are no lines for those games right now at FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's see. We have I don't know why the NCAA, like college baseball, is never like part of the conversation. This is just ridiculous. ESPN is such a garbage organization. I'm trying to find scores, you hoes. Come on, man. Yeah, so the College World Series goes through the weekend. It takes a little while. It takes about a week and a half. Remember we talked about that guy who's going to sing the national anthem. On Saturday, action starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there are 8 teams in the College World Series. There's a game at 2 p.m., and then a game at 7 p.m., and then a game at 2 p.m., and then a game at 7 p.m. So Ole Miss plays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. They play Auburn, and then Arkansas plays Stanford. 4 SEC West teams in the College World Series, 3 of which are in the same bracket. Arkansas, Stanford, the Saturday early game, I guess you could call it, then Ole Miss and Auburn. Ole Miss is the significant underdogs to win the whole thing if you want to bet on this particular thing. Plus 950. Notre Dame is plus 550. You got Stanford. Shut up. Stanford is the favorite? Get the fuck out of here. Wait. Okay, so these guys have no idea what's going on with who's going to win this. So they're not the significant underdogs. What are these lines? Okay, so Stanford is plus 450. Texas is plus 450. And then you have plus 550 for Notre Dame, Arkansas, and A&M. Plus 700 for Auburn, and plus 950 for Oklahoma and Ole Miss. These guys are just guessing. Arkansas, I think, is going to win. I think that they're just a better baseball program, and it seems like it's their time. Like they should have won one in the last 10 years, and they just haven't, which is kind of weird. I think that it's their time. To me, it seems like they're the ones that should probably be on top here. But I'm really excited for my team. Huge deal for the College World Series, all these famous schools, as neat as it is for Fresno State and Cal State Fullerton and Rice and all these other schools to be there. Man, there are some heavy hitters. There are some famous schools there. It feels like professional. It feels like college football, which is exciting. That's almost never the case. Well, quick and easy Friday. This is why we're doing the hiatus. There's not that much news. The NFL is settling into don't give a shit season. Baseball is whatever. The Live Tour is interesting, and I think I might do some special episodes during the hiatus for that. But hiatus will begin. I think maybe next week will be the last week. We'll see before the beginning of football season. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Back and better than ever, at least for now, on Monday morning.